School, the main source of our education, an institution dedicated to improving the knowledge of children to ensure that they have a better and improved future. Education is the ultimate key to success. It is the transmission of knowledge, skills, and character traits. An educated society is crucial for economic growth. We need to continue to learn and research in order to constantly stay innovative. But apart from going to school and getting a good education, we also learn good communication skills, like how to socialize with each other, of course, different problem-solving techniques, and critical thinking. Schools are an important part of our lives, but sometimes our personal circumstances make it difficult to enjoy the process. Not everyone can afford to go to a top-tier, expensive school that offers more than just education. Expensive schools that are well developed and are heavily invested in by the government and businesses. It's a shame that the government is investing so much in already established schools in urban areas and neglecting to invest in developing schools located in rural areas.
The prefab structures were erected in the 1980s and the community contributed a few blocks. There has been no improvement to infrastructure since then. The walls are collapsing, and on rainy days, some learners cannot attend classes. The parents are calling on government to fulfill the promises made.
In this video, we're going to delve deep into how basic sanitation such as clean water and toilets is very important, and how the government should not only focus mainly on schools located in urban areas, but should also consider and remember to provide for the schools located in rural areas. Many schools in rural areas are neglected by the government and are not even considered. Basic sanitation such as clean water and toilets are not even provided. Children are dying regularly because of the unsafety hazards of pit latrine toilets. Last year, a 4-year-old was found dead in a toilet and the government could not even take accountability, stating that they have nothing to do with the dead 4-year-old found.
Because the school that we visited in Mount Frere, Nomkologoto itself, still has open pit toilets. Children are running around there in grass next to those pit toilets. They could literally fall in there and literally die, like Alamvik and many other children.
Believe it or not, but there are still very many schools that lack toilet facilities. More than 3,000 schools in South Africa. Imagine how shameful and uncomfortable it is for a child to relieve themselves in one of these so-called toilets. Several schools are still not getting the attention that they need from the government and still have very high hopes for the false promises they've been told. 5 years ago, President Cyril Ramaphosa launched government plans to improve the provision of sanitation infrastructure in mostly rural areas by 2030. According to Section 27 Catalyst for Social Justice media statement, the failure of the Department of Basic Education in eradicating pit latrine toilets in public schools is beyond appalling. This means that the Department of Basic Education is taking longer than expected to complete this endeavor.
Learners said that they get bladder infections because they're holding in their urine for the whole day when there are conditions that are just untenable. Actually, very, very serious consequences on learners' education. If girls are missing school because of their very normal menstrual cycle, then what are we? Then we're not meeting the educational rights and the educational needs of that girl child.
The report further continues to say, the Center for Child Law and Section 27 condemn the devastatingly slow pace of the Department of Basic Education in eradicating pit latrine toilets in public schools. It has almost been 9 years since young Michael Komape and 5 years since Lumka Mthethwa died a horrific death after falling into a pit latrine toilet and drowning in a public school in Limpopo and Eastern Cape respectively. Today, we have learned that yet another young life was cut short in exactly the same manner. The lifeless body of a 4-year-old was discovered in a pit latrine toilet in public school in the Eastern Cape. The Section 27 article will be linked in this description down below. If the government is not taking such heavy situations seriously, we as big or small businesses and individuals should take matters into our own hands and do the little we can with the little that we have. Children are our future. If they cannot survive because of the lack of toilet facilities and the improper sanitation provided, what do we expect? It will result into many lives being cut short and many children obtaining toilet infections. Basic sanitation such as clean water and toilets is a right, and the government should not only focus mainly on schools in urban areas, but should also remember and consider schools in rural areas.